In life, the relationships we cultivate should enrich us, inspire us, and make us feel valued. But what happens when they become toxic and begin to drain our energy? It can be hard to recognize when it's time to walk away, especially if it's someone close to you. In this video, we'll explore 10 clear signs that indicate it might be time to reconsider and possibly cut off all contact with certain people in your life. From feeling constantly belittled to finding yourself dragged into problematic situations by negative influences, I'll walk you through every cue to help you make healthy choices for your emotional and mental well-being. Join me and find out if it's time to free yourself and move on to more positive relationships. Okay, now without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Constant disrespect. Respect, more than just courtesy, is the foundation on which the healthiest and most productive human interactions are built. When this fundamental pillar is undermined by a constant lack of respect, marked by behaviors that reduce or completely ignore the dignity of an individual, we are facing a warning sign that cannot be ignored. If a person insults you, uses hurtful, degrading, or humiliating language, shows resentment, hostility, or incooperation in an indirect way, such as through sarcasm, avoidance, or silent sabotage, or ignores or belittles your opinions or feelings, in addition to lying to you or betraying your trust, or even breaking promises or commitments, these are already clear evidence that you should stay away. This disrespect can manifest itself in a variety of ways, from constant interruptions in a conversation to destructive criticism or a deliberate disregard for another person's emotional needs. Each of these acts, as the philosopher Aristotle said, is a blow to human dignity, eroding trust and security, essential elements for any healthy relationship. The persistence of this disrespect is a clear indication that the relationship may be compromised to the point that a person's mental health is at risk. In such circumstances, distancing is not an abandonment, but a measure of self-protection, an essential step in preserving peace of mind and personal integrity. Within the framework of Stoicism, a constant lack of respect can be seen as an opportunity to exercise virtue and personal resilience. The Stoics believed that our internal reactions to external events are what really matter. For example, if someone repeatedly disrespects us, a Stoic would seek to remain calm and not allow those actions to disturb their inner peace. The practice of self-reflection is key in Stoicism, where one wonders how one's own actions may have contributed to the situation and how one can respond virtuously and with integrity. In addition, Stoicism teaches the importance of setting clear and reasonable limits, thus protecting one's self-respect without falling into impulsive reactivity. Avoiding the erosion of self-esteem and the accumulation of resentment, deciding to distance yourself from a toxic dynamic is an act of courage and self-respect. As the philosopher Simone de Beauvoir put it, freedom begins by refusing to be what others expect you to be. Reflecting on these interactions allows us to evaluate our own values and reaffirm our commitment to personal dignity. Setting and maintaining clear boundaries is crucial to any long-lasting and respectful relationship. These boundaries, as psychologist Carl Rogers put it, not only protect against emotional burnout, but also promote an environment where mutual respect can flourish. Number 2, value incompatibility. The compatibility of values between individuals is the foundation on which genuine and meaningful relationships are built. When we frequently find ourselves at odds with the ethical principles and personal values of those around us, moral dilemmas arise that can cause intense internal conflicts. These disagreements are not mere differences of opinion, but touch on the essence of who we are and what we consider to be just and right. Constantly confronting values that contradict our own erodes our inner peace and compromises our authenticity. Living in a state of constant ethical misalignment is like navigating without a compass in familiar territory, where every decision seems to call into question our integrity and deepest convictions. This misalignment can lead to a gradual erosion of self-confidence and self-esteem. Trying to accommodate or accept contrary values can lead us to question our own identity and principles. This, in turn, can manifest as anxiety, stress, and a feeling of disconnection from oneself and others. Therefore, it is crucial to recognize and address these value discrepancies proactively. Setting clear boundaries around what is acceptable in our relationships can help preserve our sense of identity and integrity. In some cases, this may mean reducing or ending interactions with those whose values are deeply in conflict with our own. Making these difficult decisions is essential to maintaining our authenticity and cultivating an environment where we can live in harmony with our own values and beliefs. By making choices that not only protect our mental health, but also reinforce our commitment to an authentic life true to our principles, we not only free ourselves from internal conflicts, but also pave the way for deeper, more meaningful relationships based on a genuine alignment of values. As the philosopher Aristotle said, "Virtue is the only possession that truly belongs to us." By cultivating a life guided by our values, we become beacons of authenticity in a world that is often clouded by moral ambiguity. Making decisions based on our values, even when they are difficult, allows us to live a free and authentic life in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. Number 3. Feeling of constant exhaustion. Healthy relationships should be a refuge of mutual support and revitalization, not a source of ongoing burnout. When interactions with one person leave us systematically exhausted, this is an alarming sign that the relationship may be deteriorating and negatively impacting our psychological well-being. Continuing with the fact of moving away from our essence and hindering the development of our potential, this exhaustion can manifest itself in various ways. 1. As emotional fatigue, feeling drained after interactions with that person, even when the interaction was brief or superficial. 2. Loss of enthusiasm, decreased joy or motivation in activities that previously gave us pleasure. And 3. Persistent sadness or worry, a low mood or constant restlessness that intensifies in the presence of that person. These signs indicate that the relationship is consuming more energy than it offers, negatively affecting our physical and mental health. Chronic stress from these types of interactions can lead to sleep problems, concentration difficulties, irritability, depression, and anxiety. A bond that constantly drains our energies can obstruct our path to achieving personal and professional achievements. Instead of propelling us forward, these relationships set us back, impeding our progress toward personal fulfillment and the authentic expression of our capabilities. Recognizing when we are in a cycle of constant burnout is crucial. In identifying this dynamic, we should consider re-evaluating and possibly restructuring or terminating these interactions. As the philosopher Viktor Frankl said, "The man who asks about the meaning of life is not a pathological case, but is mentally healthy." By questioning whether a relationship contributes or takes away from us, we are exercising our capacity for analysis and our right to protect our psychological well-being. Number 4. Manipulates. If a person lies to you or deceives you, blames you for problems, plays the victim, threatens or intimidates, makes you doubt your own reality or sanity, or controls information, let me tell you that you are being manipulated. Manipulation, whether emotional or behavioral, represents a serious violation of the Stoic principles of authenticity and honesty, essential values for building genuine and respectful relationships. This type of behavior involves the use of cunning tactics to influence or control others, often masking true intentions and deceiving those who are manipulated. Relationships that contain elements of manipulation distort the perception of reality of the individuals involved, seriously compromising their ability to make free and informed decisions. When we are under the influence of manipulation, our judgment becomes clouded, preventing us from evaluating situations and making decisions with clarity and rationality. This can lead to a state of confusion and indecision in which we constantly feel insecure about our own perceptions and decisions. In addition, manipulation attacks individual dignity and integrity by exploiting emotional vulnerabilities for personal gain. Such behavior not only erodes mutual trust and respect, but also causes a lasting impact on the manipulated person's self-esteem and emotional well-being. Therefore, it is vital to recognize and deal with situations of manipulation in our relationships. Identifying these behaviors allows us to take steps to protect our autonomy and integrity. This may involve setting firm boundaries, or in some cases, disengaging ourselves from the manipulative relationship entirely. As the philosopher Seneca said, "The honest man is the one who fears neither the gaze nor the hand of another man." By defending our authenticity in the face of manipulation, We rise above deceptive tactics and hold fast to our moral principles. Number 5. Absence of growth and mutual support. Mutually supportive relationships that do not foster personal growth or mutual enrichment can create a stagnant environment that significantly limits our individual development and our ability to contribute positively to others. This lack of progress and support not only slows down our own evolution, but it can also prevent us from reaching our full potential. In a healthy relationship, growth and support are seen as essential components that contribute to both personal enrichment and strengthening of the mutual bond. Without these elements, relationships can become one-sided or merely functional, where interactions are reduced to fulfilling obligations or keeping up appearances rather than promoting true connection and mutual enrichment. Assessing the dynamics of our relationships is crucial to ensuring that we are in an environment that not only respects and values our contributions, but also encourages and celebrates our growth and well-being. This assessment can reveal the need to discuss shared expectations and goals, adjusting the course of interactions so that both parties can benefit and evolve. In cases where mutual support and continued growth are consistently absent, it may be necessary to reconsider the long-term viability of these relationships. This doesn't necessarily mean an abrupt breakup, but it can involve redirecting or redefining how interactions happen, ensuring that both partners can thrive and develop. As the philosopher Aristotle said, happiness is the activity of the soul in conformity with virtue. By cultivating relationships that foster our growth and well-being, we move closer to a fuller and more meaningful life, where happiness is not a destination, but a journey we take alongside those who inspire and support us on our path to self-actualization. In the words of psychologist Carl Rogers, human beings have an innate tendency towards growth, actualization, and development of all their potentialities. By surrounding ourselves with people who share this vision and encourage us to reach our full potential, we create an environment conducive to personal and relational flourishing. Number 6. Persistent selfish behavior. In healthy relationships, a balance between giving and receiving that reflects a commitment to reciprocity and mutual respect is essential. When one party consistently exhibits selfish behavior, always prioritizing their own needs over those of the other, this represents a clear violation of these basic principles. The persistence of such selfishness can gradually erode the foundations of any relationship, making it one-sided and unbalanced. Not only does this undermine the mutual support structure necessary for a healthy relationship, but it also negatively affects both parties' ability to maintain serenity and practice virtue. When an individual feels constantly abandoned or undervalued, this can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration that, if left unresolved, can further deteriorate the bond between people. Acknowledging the presence of selfish behaviors and addressing them is crucial to the sustainability of any relationship. This may involve an open conversation about each person's expectations and needs, seeking to restore a balance. When both partners feel valued and respected, the relationship is strengthened and can evolve in a more positive way. In some cases, it may be necessary to set clear boundaries or reconsider the dynamics of the relationship to ensure that mutual respect and reciprocity are restored. Addressing these challenges not only protects the individual integrity of each person, but also strengthens the relationship as a whole, allowing it to evolve in a more balanced and harmonious way. By overcoming selfishness and promoting an environment where altruism and mutual consideration prevail, we reaffirm our commitment to the stoic values of justice and virtue, essential for personal and collective development. As the philosopher Seneca said, justice is the basis of all the other virtues. By cultivating relationships based on justice and mutual respect, we create a space where reciprocity and mutual support flourish, allowing us to reach our full potential as individuals and as members of a community. Number 7. Lack of confidence. Trust is an essential pillar in any type of relationship, whether personal, professional, or social. A persistent lack of trust can severely destabilize the foundation of our most important interactions. When trust is undermined or absent, we find ourselves perpetually on guard, unable to relax and share our true thoughts and feelings. This constant state of alert not only prevents the development of a deep and meaningful bond, but also creates an environment of uncertainty and tension. Without trust, each other's word or action can be interpreted with suspicion, and every small misunderstanding has the potential to escalate into a significant conflict. This atmosphere of mutual distrust can lead to a vicious cycle of fear and insecurity where neither party feels safe or valued. In addition, a lack of trust compromises our ability to open up, completely restricting our ability to be vulnerable and authentic to others. Vulnerability is crucial for building deep and genuine relationships, as it allows people to share their hopes, fears, and dreams. Without it, relationships tend to remain superficial and functionally limited. Therefore, recognizing and addressing a lack of trust is essential to restoring the integrity of our interactions. This may involve an open and honest dialogue about any insecurities and doubts that each party may have. Feeling heard and understood can help rebuild lost trust. By investing in rebuilding trust, we are not only healing damaged relationships, but also strengthening our own ability to interact openly and meaningfully with the world around us. As the philosopher Confucius said, "Trust is the glue that holds a society together." By cultivating relationships based on trust, we create a space where honest communication, mutual support, and respect flourish, allowing us to build stronger, more meaningful bonds with those around us. Number 8. Negative effects on mental health. Do you sometimes feel overwhelmed by the things you need to do for the people around you, feeling uncomfortable, insufficient, that you don't fit in? Health relationships that constantly generate feelings of anxiety, sadness, or stress are highly detrimental not only to the serenity we all seek, but also to our ability to function healthily and virtuously in daily life. Stoic philosophy teaches us to seek peace of mind as an essential state for the practice of virtue and good living. However, being involved in relationships that continually disturb this emotional balance directly challenges that goal. When subjected to environments that emotionally destabilize us, we can experience a deterioration in our mental health. This manifests itself not only through emotional discomfort, but also as physical problems, such as lack of energy, insomnia, or digestive problems. These symptoms are clear signs that something in our relationship dynamics is not contributing to our well-being and should be carefully evaluated. Becoming aware of the negative impacts of these relationships is the first step to initiating change. Protecting our mental health often involves making difficult decisions, such as limiting or ending contact with people who continue to cause emotional pain. This is an essential act of self-care and an affirmation of our right to a healthy environment that is conducive to personal development. By distancing ourselves from negative influences and restructuring our relationships, we are not only safeguarding our mental health, but also strengthening our ability to live more fully and virtuously. This process may involve seeking support from friends, family, or mental health professionals who can provide the guidance and support needed to regain emotional stability and strengthen our commitment to virtuous living. By cultivating and maintaining relationships that support and uplift us, we reaffirm our commitment to tranquility and virtue, essential pillars for an authentically good life. By surrounding ourselves with people who share our values and inspire us to be the best version of ourselves, we create a space where mental health, personal growth, and meaningful relationships can thrive. As the philosopher Epictetus said, "It is not the events themselves that disturb us, but the way we interpret them." By recognizing that we have the power to choose how we react to situations, we can take control of our emotional well-being and protect ourselves from negative influences in our relationships. In the words of psychologist Virginia Satir, low self-esteem is like driving a car with the handbrake on. It may move, but it won't go very fast. By cultivating relationships that nurture our self-esteem and encourage us to reach our full potential, we unlock the path to a fuller, more meaningful life. Number 9. Destructive communication. Communication acts as the foundation of all meaningful relationships. The way we interact with each other has a profound impact on our connection and understanding of each other. When the communication pattern becomes predominantly negative or destructive, the effects on emotional stability and serenity can be severe. Stoics, who value harmony and balance in human interactions, consider it essential that communications be uplifting and constructive, with the goal of growth and well-being for all involved. A pattern of communication that constantly affects us negatively is a clear sign that changes are necessary. Not only does this type of interaction erode mutual trust and respect, but it can also lead to emotional exhaustion, frustration, and estrangement between the parties. In environments where words are used to diminish rather than build, the true essence of communication, which is to connect and enrich people's lives, is lost. To restore positivity in communication within any relationship, it is crucial to identify destructive patterns and address them directly. This may involve establishing clear rules of interaction that reject negativity and encourage open and respectful dialogue. In some cases, the assistance of a mediator or counselor can be beneficial in redirecting communication towards a healthier and more productive one. The path that promotes constructive communication is an investment in the emotional well-being of all involved and in the quality of the relationship itself. In doing so, we not only follow Stoic principles of uplifting interactions, but we also create an environment where everyone can feel heard, respected, and valued. As the philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Happiness does not depend on what we have, but on how we use what we have." By cultivating healthy and constructive communication in our relationships, we use one of the most powerful resources we have to create meaningful connections, foster personal growth, and build a more compassionate and understanding world. Number 10. Contempt for personal needs. Respect and consideration for each individual's personal needs and boundaries are essential to maintaining healthy and balanced interactions. Frequent disregard for these needs reflects a serious lack of respect that can seriously compromise the dignity and inner peace of those involved. In Stoicism, the reciprocity of respect is seen not only as a matter of courtesy, but as a crucial component to the practice of virtue and emotional well-being. When a relationship consistently ignores or minimizes your needs and boundaries, it can indicate that the relationship is at odds with your ethical and personal principles. This constant invalidation can lead to feelings of invisibility and insignificance, which is harmful not only to self-esteem, but also to the ability to maintain a life in accordance with one's own values. In addition, this lack of consideration can obstruct their path to personal growth and development, limiting their opportunities to live authentically and fully. It is crucial to recognize and address this dynamic within relationships to ensure that your relational environment is aligned with the values of mutual respect and consideration so valued in Stoicism. To remedy this situation, it is important to clearly communicate your needs and expectations within the relationship. Setting and maintaining firm boundaries may be necessary to protect their dignity and promote an environment of mutual respect. In some cases, it may be necessary to reevaluate and possibly adjust or terminate relationships that continue to ignore your essential needs. By taking steps to ensure that your needs are respected, you will not only strengthen your own position within your relationships, but you will also promote an environment where honesty and respect can flourish, contributing to healthier lives and more fulfilling relationships. As the philosopher Seneca said, self-respect is the basis of all virtue. By cultivating relationships based on mutual respect and consideration, we create a space where self-esteem, personal growth, and authentic connection can thrive, allowing us to live a more fulfilling life aligned with our deepest values. Well, for more tips like this, you just have to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. If you have someone you know who needs these tips, share this video to help them. You can contribute to the Stoic family continuing to grow by liking the video as well. That's all for today. See you in the next Stoic intervention.